March 7 got tired of seeing her friends Dunhang and Trailblazer getting new forms every now and then, and she decided it was finally her time to get a new form as well. Hunt March 7 is focused on being a sub DPS to your teams thanks to her basic attack. In this video, I will talk about everything you need to know about the new form of March 7, how she works, how to build her, who is good with her, everything. So just before the video starts, don't forget to leave a like and a sub. 98% of you are not subscribed, and if you like my content and want to help me continue following my dreams, you can always do it by leaving your support in this video, so YouTube will make sure to start recommending my content more and more to everyone. Also, I've been cooking something over here that I think most of you will like to know, so keep an eye out for my community post and my future videos. Without any furthers, let's now explain March 7's kit. March is a 4-star imaginary character that follows the path of the hunt and is focused on being a sub DPS to your teams thanks to her basic attack. On her basic attack, My Sword zaps demons, March will deal imaginary damage equal to percentage of her attack to a single target enemy, and she will gain 1 point of charge. On her enhanced basic attack, Bros be smitten, Heart be bitten, March will initially deal 3 hits, each one causing imaginary damage equal to a percentage of her attack to a single target enemy, and whenever dealing the final hit, there is a 60% fixed chance to deal 1 additional hit of damage, up to a max of 3 additional hits. So, every time you use her enhanced basic, you can always have between 3 and 6 attacks. Just keep in mind that the energy regenerated from the enhanced basic attack does not increase with the number of hits, and this enhanced basic attack cannot recover skill points. When you use her skill, Master It's Tea Time, March designates a single ally, excluding herself, as Shifu and increases Shifu's speed by a percentage. And depending on the path of her master, March will trigger different effects when using her basic attack or enhanced basic attack. If your master is from the path of Erudition, Destruction or the Hunt, her attacks will deal additional damage from the type of her master equal to a percentage of her attack. But if your master is from the path of Harmony, Nihility, Preservation or Abundance, her basic attacks will have their toughness reduction increased by 100%. On her ultimate, March 7, the Apex Heroine, March deals imaginary damage equal to percentage of her attack to a single target enemy and increases the initial hits per action of the next enhanced basic attack by 2, and also increases the fixed chance of additional dealing damage by 20%. On her talent, Master, I've Ascended, after Shifu uses an attack or ultimate, March 7 gains up to 1 point of charge each time. Upon reaching 7 or more points of charge, March 7 immediately takes action and increases the damage she deals by a percentage. Her basic attack also gets enhanced and her skill cannot be used. After using an enhanced basic attack, consume 7 points of charge and you can hold up to 10 points at once. And for last, on her technique, Beast in One Go, if March is on the team, she gains 1 point of charge at the start of the next battle whenever an ally uses a technique, up to a max of 3 points. And after using her own technique, March regenerates 30 energy when the next battle starts. Now that we know how March kit works, it's now time to talk about her traces and priorities to level up. On her minor traces, March will get a total of 28% attack, 24% crit damage, and 12.5% defense, helping in both her survivability and personal damage. On her first major trace, Swan's War, when the battle starts, March action is advanced forward by 25%. On her second major trace, Filigree, March can reduce the toughness of enemies whose weakness type is the same as the Shifu's combat type, and when breaking weakness damage, she will trigger the imaginary weakness break effect. And for last, on her third major trace, Tid Tamer, after using enhanced basic attack, increases Shifu's crit damage by 60% and break effect by 36%, lasting for 2 turns. For her trace priorities, you should focus on your basic attack first, since that's where most of your damage will come from, then her skill and talent with similar priority for the buffs, and for less her ultimate just to increase the damage. Now let's talk about March Eidolons, since the first 3 are free for everyone, and probably the other ones will end up also being free in future updates. With her E1, when Shifu is on the field, increases March 7's speed by 10%. On her E2, after Shifu uses basic attack or skill to attack an enemy target, March 7 immediately launches a follow-up attack and deals imaginary damage equal to 60% of her attack to the primary target of this attack. Additionally, triggers the corresponding effect based on the Shifu's path and then gains 1 point of charge. If there is no primary target available to attack, then attacks a single random enemy instead. This effect can only trigger once per turn. Her E3 increases level of her skill by 2 and the level of her basic attack by 1. With her E4, at the start of the turn, regenerates 5 energy. Her E5 increases level of her ultimate and talent by 2, and with her E6, after using ultimate, increases the crit damage dealt by the next enhanced basic attack by 50%. Now let's talk about the best relics and planetary ornament sets you could use in your March. And since she can be used in both a crit or break playstyle, I will leave suggestions for both. For a crit build, your best in slot option will be, in my opinion, Musketeer of Wild Wheat, since it will increase your attack, speed and basic attack damage if you manage to get the whole 4-piece effect. Another good option will be 4-piece Wastelander, since it will increase your imaginary damage and provide both crits if you are attacking debuffed enemies and imprisoned enemies. Even though this set may lead to more damage, the difference is not that big to justify farming for it, and besides, Musketeer will be way more consistent since you don't need specific scenarios to get all of its buffs. And for last, you can mix and match 2 pieces between the sets that provide attack and imaginary damage. For planetary ornaments, her best in slot will be Rootland Arena, since it will give you some crit rate, and when you reach 70% crit rate, your basic attack and skill damage will get increased by 20%. If you are going to use March with Topaz or another hunt character, you can also use Zizumo, which will provide you some attack buffs, as well as 12% crit rate if you have at least one teammate with the same type as March. And for last, Inertial Soto can be a decent alternative, since it will also increases your crit rate, which is already good, and will buff your ultimate and follow-up damage by 15% if you reach 50% crit rate. If you are going for a break build instead, your best in slot relic set option will be the Iron Cavalry against the Scourge, which will provide you some break effect, while also making your break damage ignore 10% of the enemy's defense, and your super break ignoring 15% of the target's defense if you reach at least 150 and 250 break effect. If you don't want to farm for her best in slot set, Thief of Shooting Meteor can also be a good option for her, since it will give you a good amount of break effect, while also providing some energy when you break an enemy toughness. And for last, you can always mix and match 2 pieces between the sets that provide break effect and speed. And for the planetary ornaments, her best in slot will be Talia, Kined on Bandrit, increasing your break effect and further increasing it even more if you reach 145 speed. But you can also use Forge, especially if you are pairing March with Firefly or with a lot of fire weak enemies, since this set will increase your speed and will also increase your break effect by a lot if you attack enemies with fire weakness. Now that we know what set to farm, let's now talk about the best sets you need to be looking for. If you are going for the crit build, you will want crits for the chest, for the boots, speed or attack, for the sphere, imaginary damage, for the rope, attack percent, and for the substats, you should focus on speed, crits and attack. But if you are going for a break build instead, you will still want crits for the chest, for the boots, speed, for the sphere, imaginary damage or attack, and for the rope, break effect. And for the substats, you should focus on speed and break effect. For March Lightcones, just like on the builds, she will have different Lightcones options depending on what the playstyle you are going to do for her. For a crit March, her best in slot option will be Sealy Signature in the Night, which will increase your crit rate while also converting every 10 speed that exceeds 100 into damage for your basic attacks and skills, and converting it also to crit damage for your ultimate with a max of 6 stacks. Other 5-star options like Baptism of Pure Thought or Orisome Blissful can also be good options for your March, since they will increase her crits and her follow-up attack damage. Her best F2P Lightcone will be the Erta Store Cruising in the Stellar Sea, which will increase your crit rate and will further extend these buffs when attacking enemies with 50% HP or less, and will also increase your attack after defeating an enemy. And since this Lightcone is totally free, at S5 you can end up getting a total of 32% crit rate and 40% attack if you maximize its passive. And for the last, the Goated Swordplay can also be used on March if you have it as 5, and it will perform even better than some of the other 5-star Lightcone I mentioned before. If you are going for a break March instead, you pretty much only have 2 options. Her best in slot option will be Boot Hill Lightcone sailing towards the second life, since it will provide March a lot of break effect while making her ignore defense on enemies and increasing her speed by 12% if your break effect reaches 150% or higher. And her second best option and her best F2P option will be the 3-star Lightcone Adversarial, which will increase your speed by 10% for 2 turns every time you kill an enemy. And since it's a 3-star Lightcone, you can always S5 it, which will start giving you 18% speed instead. For March teams, she's a character that will fit in both crit and break teams as a sub DPS, so here are some of my options. For a hyper carry March team, pair her with Topaz, Robin and Aventurine. For a support March team, pair her with Dr. Ratio, Robin and Aventurine. For a super break March, pair her with Ron May, Harmony and Gallagher. And for a Yunlin team, pair her with Yunlin, Tingyun and Lynx. Just don't forget you don't need to do these exact teams. You always have other characters that have similar functions with these ones I talked about, and if you have been cooking on some teams that didn't appear here and want to share them, leave your favorite teams down on the comments for all of us to give it a look.
Existence is unity.
The redemption. No dirty tricks.
Someone else take this one? Nice job! Time to show you what I can really do. Azure Dragon, White Tiger, less carbs, what's this? Sunbelt. Enjoying yourself? Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
hit the mark. It's on me.
Judgment is here. Retribution.
The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Watch your head.
The market is unpriced. Investing in victory means playing the long game. Oh, I get it. Now watch this. With interest.
Sure, I'll No dirty. Watch your head.
Bear witness.
Liquidation. Awesome. Ready to shine. Watch this. The market is unpriced. Investing in victory means playing the long game.
Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
You're fighting a gentleman. Put forth all your might.
Steady.
The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Watch your head.
The flesh.
Confiscated.
Grace and elegance.
Time to show you Pleasure Dragon White Tiger. Less carbs. Watch this.
Rise to the challenge.
Oh, I get it.
Let the duel commence.
Hedge your bets.
Rise to the challenge.
Go Nappy.
Let thy glory.
Stay away.
Watch your head.
Put forth all your might.
Steady.
Rise to the challenge.
Existence is unity. Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
Rise to the challenge.
Watch your head.
The market is unpriced. Investing in victory means playing the long game.
The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
The flesh.
Time to show you what I Pleasure Dragon White Tiger. Less carbs. Watch this. Awesome. You'll make good practice.
Rise to the challenge.
Better hedge your bets.
For chivalry.
So what's your opinion about March 7? Do you think she should be free? I hope with this video you are now able to understand how she works and how you should build her. Share this video with everyone you know that refuses to use her. 98% of you are not subscribed, so please, I'm cooking some changes for the channel that I know you will like, so please support me by leaving a like and a sub. It just takes some seconds of your life, and that way you will be able to enjoy any future content I post. A special thanks to my members for trying to support me, and thank you so much for keeping me company. See you all on my next video, stay safe everyone, and have an amazing day.